Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Theater Thoughts, a cinematic journey in which I cover my favorite and least favorite movies and television shows. Today we're covering Superman the movie, 1978, at 2 hours and 23 minutes long, starring the great Christopher Reeve as the title character. Superman the movie is an enduring masterpiece, and despite the fact that it came out in the 1970s, still holds up well to this day. As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say, in my opinion, that Christopher Reeve's version of Superman is the definitive one. Special effects may improve, quality of filmmaking with CGI enhancements might boggle the mind, but that original film still is the benchmark for this character, and will always be. What makes this movie so special are the people that put it together. No movie is made in a vacuum, and it takes an incredible talent, both behind the camera and in front of it. This unique combination is what allows a film to become a classic, to stand the test of time. Richard Donner was the director of Superman the movie, and he had a singular vision for the character, a very human one. And as a director, it was his choice of cast that brought these characters to life. You had Marlon Brando, you had Christopher Reeve, you had Gene Hackman, Margot Kidder, you had Jackie Cooper, you had Mark McClure, Valerie Perrine, you had Glenn Ford. I mean, the entire cast all gave a significant contribution to what made this film a classic. Jeffrey Unsworth did the choreography and the filming, and his idea of filling the widescreen frame is incredible. And people don't even get the chance to think about things like that. But the look of a film is so important. It's part of what makes a movie magical and standing the test of time. When you watch a movie, you have to become immersed in the reality they are showing. When a movie works, you are brought into that world. The tagline for this film was, "You'll believe a man can fly." And they succeeded wonderfully. You have to remember, this was the 1970s, and technology had to be created in order for Superman to fly. People take that for granted today because of incredible CGI technology. They think it's easy. But the truth is, back in the 1970s, it was an incredibly difficult task. And if you think about it, it was the single aspect, the shoulders, if you will, in which the movie stood. If you didn't believe that Superman could fly, the movie wouldn't work. Let's talk about the story for just a little bit. I'm not going to go into every single detail, but overall, this is an origin movie. It starts off with the planet Krypton, and we see Superman's father and the political situation that's going on, and how eventually he has to get his son off the planet, for it is doomed and will be destroyed very soon. The second part of the movie deals with Superman's journey to Earth as a baby, where he's found by loving but elderly parents, and then they help raise him to be an honest and moral person, and also how to deal with these incredible powers that he seems to possess. They teach him humility. They teach him to be a good person. The third part of the movie actually jumps ahead in time. Clark Kent is now a man, and Superman is about to be revealed to the world. We are also introduced to Gene Hackman's character, Lex Luthor, at this time. The movie is very clever in introducing characters in different segments in a very, very intelligent and logical manner. Clark gets a job at the Daily Planet as a reporter, and of course we meet Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. Anyone who knows their Superman knows, of course, this is the great love of Superman's life. And then the fourth and last segment of the movie shows the villain putting his plans into motion, and all the characters are getting involved and how they are affected. And it's up to Superman to not only use his powers, but use his brains to thwart his arch-villain. So Superman the movie really, really works. And at 2 hours and 23 minutes, does not feel long at all. It flies by, no pun intended. Superman the movie also was very clever in parceling out Superman's capabilities. As an audience member, we are treated to his abilities, but through the story. These are standout pieces. There is another aspect, however, that makes this movie a masterpiece. It's an essential part of the film, and that is John Williams' incredible score of the film. He came up with all the themes, including the main theme, in which you literally can hear the word Superman being said out loud through music. It's an incredible, enduring piece of music. It stands on its own as a masterpiece, but put together really sells the emotional and soul of the movie. Now, for those fans of Superman the movie, there are actually a couple of different versions that are available. When Superman the movie first aired on TV, 40 minutes were restored into the movie, making it an incredible 3-hour event. The new scenes were sort of unfinished, however, and you could tell that they didn't exactly fit in on the finished level as the edited theatrical version of the film. However, that changed when home media remastered the incredible extended cut. I'm going to show it to you right here. Came out in Blu-ray and DVD, and it was called Superman the Movie Extended Cut. The entire film has been remastered. All the new scenes have been brought up to the highest standards. The movie mix, the soundtrack, the audio, the picture, the color timing, it all makes for one beautifully longer experience. It doesn't feel extraneous whatsoever. And all the new footage really does add to the story. So if you are a fan of the theatrical cut, you are very likely to love the extended cut. Also coming out, and this was a real treat, was a director's cut from the original theatrical cut by Richard Donner himself. This involved a few little tweaks, a few little edits, 1 or 2 new additional moments, and again, although shorter than the extended cut, still makes for an incredible, compelling viewing experience. I have to say that Christopher Reeve has to be the standout for me personally. As I said earlier, he is the definitive Superman. What makes him so special is his understanding of the character. Whether he's rescuing a cat from a tree, whether he's saving the president from a jet airliner that's about to crash, whether he's trying to prevent earthquakes and saving people on a massive scale, this man brought this character to life. We can sympathize with him. We can empathize with him. We want to root for him. He's relatable. As Clark Kent, he deliberately makes his character a bumbling kind of fool, but in the best way. We understand why he's doing that. He wants to become the exact opposite of who Superman is, who's suave, heroic, always in command of the moment. It's brilliantly performed. Christopher Reeve really understood the dynamics of both Clark Kent and Superman. Ironically, and we will get to this in future episodes, the quality of the future Superman movies diminishes over time, but the one constant factor that always stood out was Christopher Reeve's Superman. No matter how much the movie might have failed him, we don't think less of him. We still think of him as an amazing Superman. Margot Kidder does a wonderful job as Lois Lane. You could see, although she's not a traditional beauty, she's smart, and you could see in her personality why Superman would fall in love with her. The fact that they worked and spent so much time together gives you an opportunity to see how those characters grew. All the cast is wonderful, everyone. And that's what makes this movie so incredible. Final thoughts on Superman, the movie. If there is any kind of detriment to the film, it's really because of its time. Superman the movie was the rare example of treating a comic book character seriously. But having said that, there are a couple of scenes where they dip into silliness because it wasn't entirely treated seriously. Perhaps if the exact same movie was made today, they would have done maybe a little less silly antics and focused more on the drama. It's just a personal pet peeve of mine that I happen to like the movie better when it stays with its inherent drama. In conclusion, highly recommend Superman the movie. Even if you're not a comic book fan per se, Christopher Reeve's portrayal of Superman is worth your time. It's a fantastic film. Well, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching our episode. I will be back with future reviews, and I want to thank you all for spending a little time with me. I love you. Take care.